The DOJ has placed the Minneapolis Police Department, the same police department involved with George Floyd, under a federal consent decree. Do you understand what that essentially means? The long and the short of it is the federal government thinks they can do a better job at running something than you. That should be all you need to hear to understand just how bad Minneapolis police truly are. A federal consent decree is when the federal government pretty much forces an agreement between a city and its police department to force them to follow patterns and practices that are actually healthy and follows the Constitution. You would only be placed under this when the DOJ does a pattern or practice investigation to see if you're violating the Constitution, if you're being racist, if you're being sexist, if you're being homophobic, if you're being whatever. Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, press conference.
Thank you all for joining us today. On May 25th, 2020, George Floyd was killed at the hands of a law enforcement officer who was sworn to protect him. As Mr. Floyd died, other officers failed to intervene. The Justice Department has since convicted 4 former Minneapolis police officers for their roles in the death of George Floyd.
What Merrick Garland just said was that they've already convicted 4 Minneapolis police officers in connection to what happened to George Floyd. So for all the people out there defending these police officers or besmirching the memory of George Floyd or attacking this man or saying all kind of negative things about him, you're defending criminals who were arrested, tried, and convicted in the court of law, all 4 of them, of these heinous crimes against an innocent man. Because when you are being arrested, when you are being charged, when you're being placed in handcuffs, you are innocent until proven guilty. So they took out an innocent man, Derek Chauvin did, and the others just sat there and watched and protected Chauvin as he broke the law, as he violated a citizen's civil rights. What happened to him happened to an innocent person, no matter how you try to slice it, dice it, or look around it.
Shortly after I was sworn in as Attorney General, I announced that the Justice Department had opened a separate civil investigation into whether the Minneapolis Police Department, the MPD, and the City of Minneapolis engage in a pattern or practice of unconstitutional or unlawful policing. I am here today to announce the findings of that investigation. I am also announcing that the Justice Department, the City of Minneapolis, and the MPD have agreed in principle to negotiate towards a consent decree. Since opening the investigation, the Justice Department has engaged in a comprehensive review of MPD's policies, training, supervision, and use of force investigations. Our review focused on MPD as a whole, not on the actions of any individual officer. The patterns and practices we observed made what happened to George Floyd possible.
And now you get why there were mass demonstrations across the country. And now you get why there were so many demonstrations in Minneapolis in particular. Now you get why the Minneapolis Police Department and several of their buildings were being torched. Now you get it.